Devolver Digital has notoriously been that company who's always been known for creating weird and wonderful experiences. Whether it be a unique take on an existing genre or a wacky online performance at E3, the company continues to show that there's still fun to be had while making games in new and exciting ways. Enter Card Shark, a game set in 18th century France that is built around the premise of becoming the best at cheating at cards. Using only your wit and your devilish charm, the game sets you on your way to rise through the ranks of the French aristocracy, and who knows what you might find along your various misdeeds. So will this game force me to fold like I do every time I play poker, or will we go all in and find a perfect royal flush? Let's find out, dive in together, and see what the deal is. Welcome to Kochiefy. My name is Kochie, and this is Card Shark. Now, if you want to see more reviews like this, remember to hit that wonderful subscribe button and we can grow the channel together. I'll be reviewing the PC version of this game with a code provided by the publisher, so thanks. From loading into the game and the wonderfully classical menu music immediately lets you know what type of setting you'll be playing in. The classical tunes of 18th century France really bleed into all corners of the game, and it drives home this aesthetic, which really helps to create a great sense of immersion. The devs have boasted a whopping 40 tracks to listen to throughout the game, and this really helped to keep things fresh. The first thing you'll notice here is the unique visual art style on display. The backgrounds of scenes are vibrant and yet simply crafted, almost like a painting with moving paper characters in front of it. This was apparently created with a process called monoprinting. The process involves stamping individual shapes of paint before layering those shapes on top of each other, forming the painterly scenes that you see in-game. And now that's not the only unique feature, and yet it makes the game delightful to look at when you're going through the various scenes on offer. The tones shift from colourful camps and well-lit bathhouses to dingy dungeons and nighttime forays through the forest. In classic Devolver style, the game says it's not suitable for children, and it definitely shows it through the gameplay. With depictions of death, suicide, backstabbing, and the set of mechanics on offer, it was already enticing me to think that there was a lot more depth here than simply cheating in a few different card games. In a great show but don't tell manner, by the time you're 10 minutes in, your house mistress has been shot and you're pulled from your worthless little life, learning 2 ways to cheat your opponents and escaping from the law's clutches. On your adventures, you'll swindle bandits and nobility alike, following your new friend Kochie on his investigation into the 12 bottles of milk. It's a slow-burning story that hooked me right from the get-go, and I was ready to perform my next con on my next willing target. The gameplay of Card Shark comes down to a mixture of multitasking between quick-time events, paying close attention to what's going on around you, and remembering what the hell you're doing while you're doing it, usually all at the same time. Your first learned trick has you controlling the pouring of wine while peeking at another player's cards before signaling to your new friend what suit is most controlling in their hands. Tilt your stick too far and you spill the wine. Don't pour enough and you won't get to see what cards they have when you'll be shit out of luck. This may seem simple at first, but it does ramp up quickly from there. Each mission always stays fresh because you're either learning a new trick or learning new combinations of previously learned tricks with all new story elements woven in between. You learn tricks like these and well-known card cons like the 3-card Monty, all in an effort to trick your opponents and make as much money as possible. It's a game of deception after all, but it is by no means a basic point-and-click adventure. Right from the first scenes, and there's already inklings of an in-depth story taking place in the world around you. Complemented by the music and the unique art style on offer, I was hooked right in to dive in and see what the hell was going on. The character you play is a mute who can only react to the conversation with chosen facial expressions and occasional pointing. This makes you a great accomplice as you gallivant across the many towns with your newly found buddy Kochie, dealing with the devil and screwing over anyone who makes the mistake of sitting at the same table as you.
Oh fuck.
While keeping all of this wickedness bouncing around in your brain, the timer is constantly ticking at the table. As you complete the required actions to make your move, your mark will grow more and more suspicious of your actions. If you've got the fastest hands in the west of France, they won't know the difference and you'll rob each mark blind time and time again. Falter your tell to Kochie or take too long and you'll be hung up by your thumbs and never earn another coin. You need to be constantly paying attention to what's going on, and this sense of urgency always kept me engaged throughout my playthrough. The sheer sense of focus you create for yourself when you have 10 coins to your name and you need to win this next hand is insanely uniquely intense. Then you have a moment to relax when you double your money, only to realize that now you have to spend your recently hoarded winnings again in a double or nothing bet. All of this rides solely on your ability to perfectly make the correct moves in time for your opponents not to become too suspicious. Much like trying to con someone in real life, one wrong move and you better be looking for your nearest escape route. Card Shark does this unique thing of not actually playing some well-known card game filled with all these rules that you need to learn when sitting down and playing. The card game you're playing doesn't matter in the slightest because it places the sole focus on the next trick you're trying to pull and not the game's rules. This isn't a game about winning various games of cards, it's about creating a scenario in which your friend obtains the upper hand and then you split the profit later for your troop and progress the story. So you don't get lost too quickly, your character will keep a journal of your adventures, and once again this isn't just a simple log of events either. From various spelling mistakes as Kochie teaches you to write better, crudely drawn outlines of sketches of people that you meet, and more really brings in a human quality to this small piece of the game. Just when you think that the game will be about conning money from the rich and giving to the poor Robin Hood style, the game's story takes a sudden turn and your sleight of hand skills are tested in various other ways. This sudden change in theme reeled me in hook, line and sinker as my character picked up a sword and fought for his life. Much like if you were trying to cheat someone for real, every move needs to be perfect, especially when there could be lives on the line. The devs don't mess about with this either, and it's really great to see that they're taking a serious tone here. They've created a secretly deep story surrounding a simple set of memory games and QuickTime events, which is definitely a breath of fresh air in the space of press X to not die adventures. It really gives you a tense feeling of, well, I better not screw this up because the next time I do, it might not be simply coins leaving my hand, but my hand living altogether. Speaking of, eventually your hands do slip up and you will ultimately fail. With a wound too great to handle, there's nothing to do but keel over and succumb to death's eternal slumber. But death isn't the end here, and instead the game puts you in a state of limbo, meeting death itself before playing a game of cards for your soul. It's a neat addition to the game that, when completed successfully, puts you back on your path leading to your last encounter. For the skilled button pressers out there, there's even a permadeath mode that will test both your wits and your dexterity. While the various tricks and cons are hard to grasp at first, within a couple of hours you're well on your way to becoming a wicked card shuffler, an expert coin flipper, and a wonderful pourer of wine. While I did originally have to take physical note on what motion I needed to do to single a king of hearts or a set of spades, eventually I relied on the game to coach me through, which made everything more engaging. Then it threw another spanner in the works and said, go nuts and adapt to the world around you on the fly. This made it more challenging and yet more engaging as a whole. If things get dire and you are running low on cash, you have the ability to play various rounds of cards with the royalty that are available to you. This allows you to get your funds back up in the games of your choosing and progress the story with your newly hoarded winnings. There were times throughout my playthrough where I thought I did everything right only to lose the hand. On rewatching my footage for this review, I realized I didn't pay attention to the position of the players as often as I should, or realize what suit I needed to play on that particular turn. You really need to have a combined skills of attention to multiple details, control of what you play, and a masterful memory to round out the great schemery going on here. Through your experience, there's a reason why not everyone was a con artist back in the day. It's a game that is simple to learn and hard to master to progress the story and the world around you. Just when you think you have a technique down, the game has you do that technique with another two stacked on top of it while having to remember the first or second card that was played originally. This is either frustrating when you get things wrong or amazing when everything goes right without even raising a single eyebrow. Speaking of frustrations with the game, sometimes I did encounter a few issues with buggy UI or control elements of the game. Button prompts that didn't appear or available options that I couldn't select led me to lose the next round due to no fault of my own. While this did happen rarely, it was a noteworthy frustration as you do need to play perfectly through each hand, so losing the game due to a bug did come at a small detriment. I'm sure these things will be ironed out after release, so it shouldn't affect too many players, but it is worth noting here. One thing I think the game is missing is voice acting. I wasn't a huge fan of reading line after line of dialogue that weaved the story through each of the gameplay sections. This is probably just a personal preference, but some voiced 18th century banter would have gone a long way to immerse you further in this gorgeous world you're exploring. To others though, this may have been something that would have been skipped over entirely, and you may just be happy to read and voice your own characters, and whatever you do works well here. If you are going to voice your own characters, it's time to put on your best pompous French accent and dive straight in. On baguette, sacre bleu. Over your 12-hour playthrough, you'll learn 28 different tricks that you'll be able to use on your opponents, which will test both your memory and controller dexterity. From false riffle shuffles and cuts to stacking the deck, swapping out newer decks entirely, and more, Card Shark always keeps the game fresh, and it has you learning real-world ways to cheat at cards, if you're good enough at it. Of course, this is 18th century France we're talking about here, so these cons would never work on someone today, would they? Right? I can definitely recommend picking up Card Shark if you have the chance. From the wonderful art style on display, music that fits perfectly to the scenes that you're in, and a story that pulls you in hook, line, and sinker. It's a breath of fresh air that I loved playing, and I hope that you will too if you do end up picking it up. Thanks for watching the video. I hope that you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, wonderful evening, whatever it is for you. Remember to hit the subscribe button and let me know what you thought about the game down below, and I will see you again soon. Till next time, Kochie, out. Of course, this is 18th century France that we're talking about, so these tricks would never work on someone in today's day and age. I took the card, Pete. It's the right card. Damn it. Of course, this is 18th century France we're talking about here, so these tricks would never work on someone in today's day and age, would they? It's over there.